Hi, we're going back to the roots for this segment. This is going to be a slow 12-bar blues with a quick change. Virtually every blues hit is 12-bar. Yeah, there are 8-bar blues and 16-bar blues, but the 12-bar is really the main one. And that's what we're going to focus on here. Some early examples of 12-bar blues songs that were huge hits were In the Mood by Glenn Miller, Johnny Be Good by, of course, Chuck Berry, and Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and a lot of others. But this is going to be the quick change blues. Those ones I just mentioned are the slow change blues. In other words, the slow change follows 4 bars just on the one chord, you know, like Johnny Be Good. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 2. Then you go to the 4 chord on the 5th bar. Well, in the quick change blues, it probably evolved because when you're going slow, 2, 3, 4, 1, it's just going to take a long time before any chords change. So what the quick change does is, the only difference between it and the slow change is that the quick change has the 4 chord in the 2nd bar. So instead of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th bars all being the 1 chord, it's 1st, 3rd, and 4th bars being the 1 chord, and the 2nd bar is the 4 chords. Some examples of the quick change 12-bar blues are Red House by Jimi Hendrix, Stormy Monday by T-Bone Walker. That also has some other changes, but it's a quick change. And Roll Over Beethoven by Chuck Berry. That's a quick change, even though it's fast. So it's going to be like, and 2nd bar, and 3rd bar, you stay there for the 4th, then it goes to the 4th chord in the 5th bar, and for the 6th bar, the 4 chord still, back to the 1 chord for 2 bars. Okay, now we get to the 9th bar. There's a lot of different versions of, this is the turnaround where you get back to the top. In this case, what we're going to do is 1 bar on the 5, 1 bar on the 4, that would be bar 10, and bar 11 back to the 1, and back to the 5 chord for the 12th bar. So that's the whole progression. Now let's look at scales. Because we are doing just the root and 5th and an alternating major 6th here, harmony is very open. You can make it sound like dominant. You can make it sound kind of Dorian or minor. It's your choice. So the scale choices are pretty open. The first scale choice is almost a duff factor, is the minor pentatonic and the blues scale. And minor pentatonic and blues are the same thing, it's just the blues scale has that scary note. Flat 5 or the devil's interval. So minor pentatonic and blues are going to work great. Also, major pentatonic. Major pentatonic is that real country kind of sound. And the way I learned major pentatonic is you take minor pentatonic and slide it down 3 frets. Hear how that sounds? And we talked about the train lick in the last segment. It sounds almost country. And I gave you a fingering pattern in the tab that starts major pentatonic on an A note on the low E. But if you want to think of just taking your minor pentatonic, sliding it down to F sharp, so it's F sharp minor, but simultaneously it's A major pentatonic. So let me demonstrate those pentatonic ones. We'll rewind the track and play it from the top. Here's major pentatonic. minor pentatonic. Major pentatonic. Minor pentatonic. You don't have to switch back and forth between major and minor pentatonic, but in early rock, it was huge. Whenever a guy ran out of licks in minor pentatonic, he'd slide down and play major. Okay, another scale that's going to be great is Dorian. Dorian contains that major 6 we're playing in the 1 chord. And I'm adding the flat 5 in there. So Dorian. And Dorian is the same scale you were doing in the Dorian rock segment. So the Dorian scale is the same one that you used in the Dorian rock segment. You're going to play A Dorian. And that scale is going to work great. So you can use the same licks you were doing in A Dorian. And also a lot of the same licks you did in B Phrygian, because that's actually A Dorian also. So all those A Dorian notes are going to work. One other thing I want to talk about, and I did this a little bit when I was switching back and forth between major and minor pentatonic, is playing major pentatonic over the 1 chord. It's going to make it sound like an A7. Then play minor pentatonic over the 4. And what that's going to do, you're going to hear the flat 7 of the 4 chord, which is the minor 3rd, and then the major 3rd of the 1 chord. I know it's kind of confusing. It's making the A chord sound like an A dominant 7 chord, and then the D chord like a D dominant 7. So anyway, major pentatonic on the 1 chord and minor pentatonic on the 4. So let's start the progression. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Major pentatonic, minor, major, major, minor, and then on the turnaround, you can do anything. There I'm playing 6. I'm going to get to those in the lick section or arpeggios. So be sure to check out the STELAR scale booklet for more fingering patterns. Of course, you've got 5 pentatonic patterns, 5 blues patterns, 5 traditional major scale patterns, which you can make them G major, which equals A Dorian, which you're using right here. And dang, a ton more of 3-note per string patterns and lots of stuff. So be sure to crack that scale glossary if you need more scale patterns.